All right, today we're taking a look at the women's exclusive Air Jordan 4 Frozen Moments. Welcome back to Kicks on Kicks, my channel where I review sneakers. And today we're taking a look at the Air Jordan 4 Frozen Moments. Now, this is a women's exclusive sneaker set to come out the end of August. I want to say the 26th is when we're expected to see these. And these are a pretty dope shoe. But I don't know, there's something about it that's just not quite hitting for me. And that's probably the fact that I'm not a woman and this is a woman's exclusive. So we're going to talk about the shoe. We'll take a look at the packaging, take a look at some legit checking indicators. And then, what's the verdict? Should you grab these? Should you be trying to get these at the retail price that they're going to be looking for on retail? We'll talk about all that, but let's go ahead and get started with a look at this shoe from the bottom up. Let's look at this outsole. This is the Air Jordan 4. You've seen an Air Jordan 4 outsole several times before, but we've got this sort of gray and pale vanilla is what we've got on this makeup. So neutral gray on your sort of arch support area. There's a little contrast tab here, but then you got pale vanilla on the outsides. Now let's move on to the midsole. As we continue to look at the tooling, we've got this same sort of pale vanilla or aged cream, sail, whatever color you want to call this. It's definitely got like a vanilla tint to it. So you got that on your outsole, but then on these sort of pods, we've got this painted light neutral gray. It almost looks like brownish, creamy gray, but it's gray. And it's got a really glossy finish here on that outsole paint or midsole paint. So that's pretty cool. All one color. I think the Jordan 4 midsole to me works best when it's two-tone, but hey, all one color, it's fine. Now let's move on to the upper where we've got several different materials making up the upper. Of course, we'll start with this mud guard. We've got a patent leather gray, that same sort of grayish, brownish, creamish gray, like a creamy gray. It's a weird way to describe gray. But anyway, got that gray in patent leather there. And you might even notice that there's like a sort of brownish tint on the leather cuts, which is cool, which I think is going to make this shoe go really well with a lot of like earth tone outfits. And women tend to wear a lot of earth tone outfits, especially as the fall is getting close. About to see a bunch of linen suits and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Now let's move on to the rest of the upper wear. The next level on the toe guard or the toe box and up to the mid panels, we've got like a fairly short suede. It is a suede, not a nubuck, where we got this suede here. And then moving up to the last sort of top levels, you can see sort of three levels here. We got the patent, we got the suede, and then just above this panel, it's this sort of lighter colored gray Durabuck. And so that's like the sort of standard Air Jordan 4 material up there on the top. Now, of course, you can't look at a Jordan 4 without noticing those huge wings for your laces to lock down on. So this time we got chrome wings. And I think that is definitely going to catch a lot of attention. If you're wearing these, you see that right here on the lace lock. You see it there. It's super shiny. I mean, it's chrome. So that's dope. On your sort of mesh overlays, we've seen that here. We got the gray mesh with the black textile beneath it. So that's pretty cool. Looking at the back of the shoe, we've got your standard Jumpman, not a Nike Air logo on the back because it's not an OG colorway. So got your Jumpman there. Also got a Jumpman Flight logo on the tongue, which is still made of that Durabuck as well. Got a set of cream laces in the shoe. These are not white. Those are cream to go with the outsole and, midsole or outsole, midsole. So that's pretty cool. And that is pretty much the shoe. Your sock liner is also cream colored. You got your Air Jordan upside down embroidered on the underside of the tongue. And that's pretty much the shoe. Now let's take a quick look at the packaging. It's nothing really special, but let's look at it anyway. All right. So this is the box, standard Air Jordan 4 box. And we'll talk about some legit checking indicators while I pull this up, because this is the women's Air Jordan 4 Retro, and the color code on the box is not correct. It's actually, this says vintage gray and black. This color, I believe, is light iron ore and sail. And I think there's neutral gray written on the color card. So that box logo or box tag is incorrect, but the sizing is correct. Got these in a 10.5, a women's 10.5, which is the same as a men's 9, because I wear a size 9 in men's. And that is that. Open it up. There's nothing in there except some paper. So there we go. And some information about the homies that sent this pair over to me. So that's the box. Now, what do I think about this shoe? First of all, we can look at some legit checking indicators. I don't see a ton on the Jordan 4s. You're going to want to look for the shape of the shoe, and you're going to want to grab a black light and actually look for just pen marks and stuff like that. I'll do that real quick. All right, got my trusty black light. Let's pull this up, and let's just see if we got any outlandish pen marks or heat gun marks or anything like that. No glue. I'm not seeing any stamps. Everything is checking out. So this shoe passes the black light test. So honestly, man, the only way to tell on these is going to be a side-by-side look next to an authentic pair. The one thing that I see on this shoe that gives me a little bit of pause is you can kind of see the hole where they were going to stitch this embroidered tag on. But even that's not really a big thing. That's honestly, there's just variation on shoes. So best way to tell on this, outside just looking at the shape of the shoe, because most Jordans are getting a lot better as far as slimming down those toe boxes and stuff. The best example being the SB Jordan 4s. But other than that, man, you have to grab these side by side with a retail shoe to start telling differences. But with these early looks, you never know. So be careful out there. Now, what do I think of this shoe? What's the verdict on this shoe? At first, I thought like this might be a dope shoe for somebody who might have missed out on the cool gray Jordan 4s from a few years ago. So like this shoe, this might be a cool replacement for that. And honestly, man, I don't think so. If you're a guy with small feet and you wanted like that cool gray Jordan 4 vibe, I don't know that this gives you that. This, because it's such a pale gray that almost looks like it's got like brown tints, cream brown tints in comparison. This honestly just looks like a women's shoe. Like a lot of times we get these women's exclusives and we're like, why are these women's exclusive? Men should be able to rock these. This looks like a women's shoe. And I think the bigger your foot is, the more it's going to look like you got whose shoes are you wearing, dog? So I would definitely go with these over the Frozen Moments, but it's still a dope shoe. I would get these for my daughter. Seeing these in small sizes on like, you know, your lady friend or whatever, I think these are dope for that. I'd probably stay away from these as a guy. You know, rock what you rock. I think you can pull off fits in these, but for me, this one ain't it. But great construction. Good job on the manufacturer for not putting a bunch of pen marks and stuff on them. A great pair, just maybe not the colorway for me. But let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in another review real soon. Peace.